and welcome back. We're moving into our second topic for today, where we're joined by Hugo Juárez Carrillo, Counselor in Legal Affairs and Press Officer at the Embassy of Mexico to Belize, and he's telling us all about Cinema Mexico, a new partnership, a new offer coming out of the embassy for Belizeans to be able to enjoy. Good morning, Hugo.
Good morning, Marlene. John, good morning.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. I'm here to invite you to the movies.
Yay!
Really?
Yes, we've been presenting.
Usually we go to Mexico to watch movies.
You don't have to. You don't have to go to Mexico. In this case, you don't have to go to Mexico, but to the Mexican Institute in Belize City, in order to see some contemporary movies. Mexican movies that have been for very 1 or 2 years in the market, and now with the collaboration of IMCINE, that's the Mexican Institute for Cinema, and the Mexican Agency for International Cooperation and Development, AMEXID, we received a few movies that we are presenting for free for the Belizean public. These movies are all of them in Spanish and are good for people 13 years old or older. And are in Spanish, as I told you, but all of them have subtitles.
English subtitles.
English subtitles, and the good part too is that we provide you with your popcorn and your soda for free. Yes.
Wow.
Then is the whole treat.
You want the whole movie experience. Do we get the comfortable reclining chairs too?
Or the 3D
not
glasses?
yet. Not yet. We're working on that.
Because then you have me sold.
Yes, it could take some years, but not in this moment. We have comfortable chairs, and the truth is that it's a nice experience, because at the end of the movie you can have not only to walk up and go home, but we have a kind of small discussion about what you see. In this case, we've been presenting this for on Thursdays. The last 2 Thursdays we presented a long movie and a documentary, and not quite commercial, you could say. And in this case, today at 6 at the Mexican Institute here in Newtown Barracks in Wilson, we will be presenting a documentary named Victor Hugo and Shakespeare, or Shakespeare and Victor Hugo. And we're not talking about Shakespeare, and we're not talking about the French writer Victor Hugo. This is a corner in Mexico City. And in this corner, there is a house of guests, guest house. And it's quite common in Mexico that if you don't have the money, or you prefer to live with somebody, you can rent a room in a house, and you live there for long periods. In this case, this guy lived for 20 years in a house. And he had a very special relationship with the owner of the house, that I think was older than him. And after 8 years that he departed from the house, they started to find some details, like police guys' details, criminal details. The director, what he made is a kind of follow-up of the many histories that are linked with this guy, and the feelings of the people that knew him at the house. It's a very interesting kind of black documentary, and I really think that people should come to see something different. It's not the Hollywood kind with
it's a criminal mystery
kind of yes, and it's a real story. It's not something that somebody thought about it and wrote.
Based on a true story.
No, it's based on a true story, and with the real people that are being interviewed. And at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide what really happened.
The Mexican embassy have always been rolling out some very good ideas, of course, to the Belizean people, and now we've actually have Cinema Mexico.
Yes.
Why the idea of now rolling that into Belize?
Well, actually, it's not my fault.
You can't take the credit.
I'm just a messenger. The truth is that this is very hard work of the embassy, mainly with the new cultural attaché, Diego Sapien, and he's been searching with the offer that we have at the Foreign Affairs Office. And we have a lot of things. And sometimes when, as is our case in this moment, when you're not a office with a very large budget, and on the contrary, the budget has been cut, you have to be more creative, and this is what is happening. Diego is being very creative, and they found a way of bringing these new films. Actually, one of them, the first that we presented 2 weeks ago, came last year to the Belize International Festival. Then we think that this is a way of presenting some art that Mexico is creating, but a different art. It's not Hollywood art. It's not, but it's a art that has been recognized in many international movie festivals. And I think it's a great opportunity for Belizean movie lovers, not to have to drive 2 hours to Chetumal to see a
blockbuster
I don't know,
movie.
A war or mystery or whatever Hollywood movie that I like. I have to confess that sometimes I have 3 movies in a day. But in this case, we are presenting something different that I'm sure that is going to be loved by the Belizean public.
And you know, even when there is the film festival, there are people who look forward to going to the movies just for a look at independent films, which are very different from your Hollywood blockbusters.
Exactly.
So tell us, it's a summer series, so people will be able to see movies over the course of the summer. You said we're apart, we've already aired some of them. So how many more movies are left to be screened?
Well, actually, on August the 27th, we have another documentary here in Belize City at the Institute. The name is Mi Vida Dentro, My Life Inside, and is a story of a Mexican girl that is detained in a Texan prison. Then again, is something that is based on a real case, and is all her story inside of a prison that is everything is in a different language. And finally, prisons are a scary place. I actually worked in one when I was very young for 2 or 3 years, and can be at the same time places where you can build a character and and be ready to keep living outside of the prison. But it's a very hard place to live, especially when you're in a foreign country, and this is the case of Mi Vida Dentro. Then on August the 3rd, again at the Mexican Institute, we have another documentary named Chuy, el Hombre Lobo. This is Chuy, that is a nickname for Jesus, the wolf man. And again, a documentary. This is a documentary about a family in Mexico that all of them have a genetical disease named hypertrichosis. The face, the body of the guys, all the hands and arms, and they grew a lot of hair. A lot of hair, and they cannot shave it because it's gonna come immediately. Yes. Then is the story of this family and their struggle in a regular life about discrimination, about love, and I think it's a very, very hard, but at the same time a documentary that gives you hope about life, because these people, notwithstanding having these genetic problems, they keep living. That's important message of the documentary. Then on the 10th of August, now in the Mexican Embassy in Belmopan, we're gonna have Ella es Ramona. This is a great movie.
Comedy, right?
It's a comedy, a black and pink comedy. Sometimes black, sometimes pink. I loved it. I saw it.
So you've watched all the movies already?
Not all of them. Not all of them. This one I saw it. Ramona is great. I love the character, and because it's somebody that you can relate to. Because one of the main diseases we have in this 21st century in Mexico is the overweight. Then we're talking about, we could say that is about 2 things: love and overweight. Then she's a very nice lady. She cooks terrific, and is a love story. Finally, it's a love story.
That changes her life.
Yes, I like the character. I saw this movie maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I always want to go to the movie theater looking for Mexican movies. This is something like kind of new in the last 10, 15 years. We have had a boom of new Mexican movies, and this is a very commercial one.
Okay.
Then but this is going to be in Belmopan.
That one,
People in Belmopan are invited.
So
all
that
of them
one is August 10th.
August 10th at 6 at Belmopan in the Mexican Embassy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to finish in August the 17th at 10 p.m. in Belmopan, El Ombligo del Cielo. This is the belly bottom of the sky. Something like that would be the translation.
Ombligo.
I don't know why the name of the
It's not your fault.
It's not my fault. I didn't wrote it. The thing is that we're talking about a movie, like a 2 hours movie. Everything happened inside of an elevator.
Wow.
Then it's a couple inside of
Trapped
an
in
elevator.
an elevator, yeah.
And they are quite different. It's like the two extremes of the labor scale in the same office. The guy that cleans and the girl that is a hypester,
yes.
that is getting up and up. And they have to be for like a night together, waiting for somebody to rescue them inside. And it's a very human thing, because maybe there is people, I'm sure, that never understand or try to get a kind of touch with the people that is
Below
doing the hardest work in the organization.
Yeah.
Yes, to keep your
They have no
office
exposure, no
clean.
conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then in this case shows you that humanity counts.
Yeah.
That you have to get close to everybody in life, because you never know what kind of new experience or happy experience of a joke experience you can have from anybody. Then
That's
That
right.
sounds very
yes.
interesting.
This
yeah.
is very
Yeah.
interesting. It's going to be the 17th.
That's for Belmopan, though.
In
We
Belmopan
don't
again.
get to enjoy
Yeah.
that one.
You have to go.
So let's go through our schedule again. Starting tonight.
Tonight.
You
Tonight we have
have-
Shakespeare and Victor Hugo.
And that's a documentary.
Documentary.
All right.
A kind of thriller documentary.
a
It's going to be
mystery.
a mystery
We're trying to
one.
figure out what that man actually did in that house.
Yes, and if he really did it, I mean, it's because it's a lot of speculation. It's going to be fine.
Okay.
And remember, popcorns and sodas is on us.
Oh, wow.
Then the 27, Mi Vida Dentro, a documentary about a Mexican girl inside of a Texan
Prison.
jail,
Yeah.
Okay.
Texan prison. And believe me, if there is different scales of prisons in the United States, and the toughest are the Texan ones.
Wow.
I worked for many years in different consulates of Mexico in Texas, and I had to visit the Mexican
these
prisoners,
prisons,
and it's not the same thing to go to a Texan prison or to go to a Californian one. Believe me, it's quite different. And then
August.
Chuy, El Hombre Lobo, Chuy the Wolfman.
Yeah.
This is going to be in August the 3rd in the institute. At the institute is another documentary about the guy with this hairy face, a congenital genetic disease. And then is Ella es Ramona. Maybe this is my
That's
favorite.
in Belmopan.
I think
We
this
hear
is
your
your favorite.
excitement.
We can
in
hear it,
this.
yes.
Yeah.
It's maybe
Ella
my
es
favorite.
Ramona.
It's- Maybe because I haven't seen the other one, the El Ombligo del Cielo. But in the case of Ella es Ramona, I like her. I like her character. She's a very good actress.
You know, you
and,
got to be careful when you give movie reviews, because then if somebody sees it and doesn't like it, they start to question your taste.
Well, what can I tell you? I cannot even defend my taste. Not even now, without the.
Well, the good part is that there are trailers online for all of them, so
Oh, yes.
people
Yeah, you
can
can
get a
see it. Yeah, you
preview
can
of
see
it
it.
for themselves. Yeah, and so the final movie is
The final movie on August the 17th is El Ombligo del Cielo, the belly button of the sky, we could say. And this one is about this couple trapped inside of an elevator. And
two different lifestyles.
yeah, this two, you could say, rich, educated girl and a poor, not educated janitor.
Yeah.
And it's not a love story, but at the same time, it's a human story. Very human, I think.
Yeah. All right. And so it's at the Institute of Mexico. Tonight at 6 and be on time because it is a movie.
Yeah.
And you'll most importantly, it's for 13 children 13 years and older and adults, right? So you don't want to bring young babies. You don't want to bring.
No, we will not.
It's not children movies.
But they're going to be bored. And,
Yeah.
And then going to be start making a kind of noise that. I love the children's noise, but the parents are not going to feel very comfortable. The parents are the ones that start not feeling comfortable.
Definitely for your teenagers and adults. We appreciate that. And of course, popcorn is free, soda's provided.
The movies are going to be in Spanish, but they'll be English subtitles.
Subtitles. Then for people that are not quite comfortable with their Spanish, they speak them very well. And I have a friend here. This is a great opportunity to improve your Spanish.
Your Spanish, yes. You know that's very important because watching a Spanish movie or watching the news in Spanish, there will be a few things that you could actually relate to. The 2 or 3 words in a sentence would mean this is what the sentence is.
Exactly.
So you enhance yourself by just looking.
I do that with the English. Programming using closed caption always, and so if something I do not get it,
the word is right there.
That's the word.
It's a good way of
capture it.
Of improving your language skills.
Okay. So definitely a don't miss opportunity. One more activity coming out of the Embassy of Mexico to spruce up your summer. So take advantage of it. Hugo, I can't let you leave without asking you a particular question because the last time we saw you on the news, you were talking about the bus situation, and I just wanted to get an update on your end as to whether or not there's been a resolution to the situation.
Well, actually, it appears that has been a solution. The information that we received from just yesterday from the Chetumal's authorities is that the buses start arriving, that 60% of the buses that generally arrive to Chetumal were arriving again yesterday and going directly to the new place that has been designated for them. I have to say that in this moment, the only requirement that the Chetumal authorities had was not to stop and pick up and let down passengers from the border all the way to the station. And they're doing so. They're not parking anywhere else but in that area. And I think that's good for the people. We could say that it's not a very good idea to leave the people in the other side of the border because it's going to make it more difficult for Belizeans to go to do their shopping, and maybe it's better for the local transportation
the Mexican taxis,
the taxis and the combis and the buses. They would have a little bit more business, but at the end of the day, it's safety for everybody. You have to know that for like 40 years, these old buses used to stop in the old Lázaro Cárdenas market, and this is the oldest part of the city where we have the narrowest streets, and now there is a lot of cars that park in both sides of the streets. Then they're so long, some of them, that it's very, very, very hard to maneuver in these streets. Then in this way they took only one avenue in Insurgentes directly to the old ADO bus station that has good facilities. They have water, they have bathrooms, and they are 2 blocks from the police station. Actually the police headquarters. Then it's very safety, and they have designated one group of taxis in order to be there to go back and forward with wherever they want to go. And
so currently the Belizean buses are adhering to the new parking space that has been designated for them.
Yes. Nothing changed. I mean, after the 15th of July, nothing. The rules that were decided by the Mexican side are being complied, and we're very happy with that. Because we're neighbors, and there is no reason to make people suffer, especially when you agreed to something.
Is this a long-term resolution?
Well, I understand that the Belize bus owners will have to comply with other requirements that have been provided by the federal law, because they have to use some federal roads. There is in Mexico 2 or 3 types of roads. There is the local roads, the streets. There's state roads that, by example, Quintana Roo would use for small towns, to communicate small towns, and the federal ones that communicate the whole country. And the bridges, the international bridges, is federal area, and the road that connects to the city is a federal road that then the buses will have to, in a moment, will have to comply with this federal law. That is not possible to negotiate. The law, you comply or you don't. And if you don't, there is consequences.
So there are some more changes, some more implementations that will roll out within the next year.
In a 2 years period that allow them to prepare to change. There is going to be another year to prepare to have insurance and to have a driver's license. This is something that in a moment will have to happen. Not in this moment. The authorities I think they just, because I wasn't in that meeting, I think what they did is just to remember them that there is a grace period that is going to be over next year, in a moment, in 2018.
All right. Well, thank you for keeping us updated.
Thank you for your time, and remember tonight.
Come to the movies.
Come to the movies.
All right. Free. The entrance to the movie is free. Your popcorn's free. Your soda's free. Just good behavior, and of course, be over 13. And get some great movies. It's going to be in Spanish, but there will be English subtitles, so you can still enjoy it. All right. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by representatives of Chemical Specialties of Belize. So stay tuned.